Hey everybody, welcome back to another review of Ready to Love Last Resort. This is going to be episode 7, Sticky Situations. And it picks up where the last one left off with Chris being eliminated for some bullshit ass reason. And it seems like that's going to play a big role into this episode too. So just hang loose. It gets fun. The end is fun. I'm pretty sure y'all already know if you watched it. It gets pretty good, but we'll get there eventually. Let's just get started right now. But I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. It starts out with Rashid, Simone, Edwin, and Adriana. They're sitting around after eating breakfast, and they're talking about Chris elimination. Because Chris elimination is sitting with everybody kind of weird, like Nia did Chris dirty, and I think the women see that, they feel that, and the men feel that too. And they're like, well, Nia doesn't really have a connection with anybody else. And Edwin said, and I think Rashid's like, no, Edwin has a connection with it. Edwin was like, yeah, I got a little something with her, but it ain't that deep. Just, it's a thing. But it's clear that Chris was all into Nia, and everyone saw it. And for her to just flip like that is weird, and it gets your attention. The guys go to meet Tommy in Tommy's tavern, and Tommy is like, they're going to eliminate one woman, and they should use this week to make deeper connections with the women. Nobody, nothing on the surface. Show them the other side of yourself. And so that's what the guys go with. They're focusing on like a deeper connection. So we go back. I don't think it. What they do make deeper connections. Some of them do. Some of them don't. Because it's some of these guys. Well, one in particular, just incapable of doing anything deep. Like the entire assignment was to do this, and motherfucker not gonna do it. But I don't want to get off. We'll get there when we get there. So you have Nia and Edwin. And Nia has the unmitigated fucking gall to say she asked Joy to get her in touch with Chris. Because Chris was supposed to help her start a podcast. But he turned his social media and stuff off. I'm like, what the fuck? The way you just dog this dude out, you think he finna help you with a podcast? He wouldn't help you with shit. And that the balls it takes to do that, to cut somebody else's balls off and then ask them for help. Nia is fucking crazy. Like, there's no way. This is the next day. After you did that the next day, oh, can you get me in touch with him? I need his help. And like Joy didn't. Fuck no. They should have showed Joy's face when she asked her that. It had to be just like the most absurd ass thing you ever heard. And Edwin was like, well, yeah, after being eliminated, he's probably just gonna take some time to himself, get his thoughts together, get it figured. Edwin's trying to be like, he don't want to say, is you fucking crazy? So Edwin's like, well, yeah, Chris needs some time. And then she asked Edwin what size shoes he wear. And he was like 10 and a half. She was like, oh, I thought Nia was very sweet, cool. And like what I'm seeing of her, I think what everybody's seeing of her is just, she's crazy. And it's not even that she doesn't care. Like, she wants what she wants, and that's all she cares about. You gotta be crazy to get in a relationship with her. Because she wouldn't care about you. She cares about her. And it's starting to come across as obvious that's the case. So we leave Nia and Edwin. We go to Jay and Winter. And, they're talking. And Winter, comes straight up like, hey, man, what's going on with you? Where your head at? Is it with me or is it with Joy? And, and Jay is like, he's just dating everybody. He's talking to everybody. And, just trying to see where it go, making connections and doing stuff like that. And Winter is like, yeah, but I want you to do more for me. And she tells him, like, if he sees her with someone, come over there and get her. She was like, I will leave whoever I'm with to go be with you. You know, she's like, I want you to, like, fight for me. And Jay starts joking and playing, because he's like, I ain't finna fight nobody for you. Are you crazy? Like, I'm saying crazy a lot, and I don't mean to, but it was like, some of the stuff you heard that was said, it was like, what the fuck? And Jay was like, nah. He's like, I'm not that dude. I'm not finna fight no other guy for you. He was like, if that's who you want to spend time with, spend time with him. And when it's my time, you spend time with me. But he said, I'm not going to sit around waiting on you to come talk to me. I'm going to talk to who I want to talk to, which is what you're supposed to be doing anyway. But, and the thing she told Anthony is, in the preview, she said she wanted Anthony to do the same thing. Like, I want you to fight for me. You know, take me from other people. And it's like, I don't know where Winter get this damsel in distress vibe from, but I guess maybe she just feels that way, but it's not really that cool, and I don't think nobody else is really gonna do that. Ain't nobody finna come try to rescue you from somebody else talking to you. That's not something you do. So we go back to the house, and Cal Funny is with Adriana, and they're playing checkers, you know. And they're just having a good time, laughing and joking. And Rashid walks by. And Rashid comes by, he's going in the house, and he sees them. And he just like, you know, he's like, oh, shit, oh, my bad. He just keeps it going on in the house. He don't really say nothing. He don't really care that much. And his confession, he said he sees Adriana spending more time with Cal Funny. And he was like, hey, that's fine. I could give me time to go spend with somebody else. So he was like, so he sees Adriana with Cal Funny as an opportunity for him to date, to go out with the other girl instead of spending all this time with her. So it's like, shit, if that's what she's doing, I want to do it too. So, which is what you're supposed to do. We go in the house, they're all having, joking, sitting around talking, and Brian and Alex starts talking because, like, Brian feels that the vibe with Alex isn't the same since her friend came and told Alex that, you know, you're not really into this dude. You're just kind of going along with it. You don't really feel him. You still kind of guard it. You don't really trust him. And Alex was thinking about that, and Brian can sense that something has shifted. And Alex tells him, like, yeah, something's shifted, but it's not really you. It's my thought process. It's how I'm feeling. You just keep doing what you've been doing, and I'm just going to keep thinking how I'm thinking. And she says, you know, she's been through some stuff. She's had relationship problems. She tells him a story about she's in an abusive relationship for 3 years. And you know, the mistakes that was going on, things that were happening. And then she asks him, she asks him something. He just starts talking, making no fucking sense. It's like, I couldn't even tell you what he was talking about because it was just jibber jabber. It was nonsense. It had nothing to do with anything she had just said. She was telling him about how she feels she's in an abusive relationship, how she felt vulnerable, and how it affected her going forward. And he was talking about, I honestly couldn't tell you what he was talking about. It was nothing. He didn't hear a word she said. He was waiting on her to stop talking so he could talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about. He didn't hear any. He did not respond to a single word that came out of her mouth. That's the best way I can give it to you. And Alex noticed that and just shut the fuck up. Like, he's just talking about what he wants to talk about, and he's not listening to me. And he hasn't been listening to her the entire time. And it has just now manifested. She's just now realized that he hasn't listened to the damn thing I've said the entire time I've been here. Not just right then, the entire time. He knows her name and what room she's in, and that's it. And you can see that a mile away that Brian was full of shit. Everybody said it. It took her this long to see it. We go back outside to Cal Funny and Adriana, and they're done playing checkers. They're sitting on the couch right now. They're cuddled up, hugging, like she rubbing on him, he rubbing on her. And she asked him about the kind of people he'd been with before and why is he single? Like, why are you single? And he says, well, I usually end up with the wrong women. He said, he says he's never approached a woman. They've always approached him, and he has just been with whoever has approached him, which he says isn't the best way to go. So he's always problems because he never has a say so in his relationship. He's always whoever likes him, not necessarily whether he likes them or not. he gets chosen. He doesn't choose. Which is bullshit. I know it's bullshit. You can smell the bullshit a mile of fucking way. It's somebody else. It's not him. He doesn't do anything. It's always the other person. Like, what the fuck ever. Fuck out of here. And Denise walks by. Denise is prowling around like a goddamn Black Panther. Like, she is ready to just pounce on poor Adriana and just snatch her ass the fuck up. Denise is not feeling this. She is not liking this. She is not enjoying this. Denise walks by and she is just looking at them, pissed. She goes in the house. And everybody in the house is like, ooh, because they already know. They like, Denise finna fucking go off. It's like a goddamn, it really looked like a goddamn tiger just got loose. When Denise walked in that house, everybody just stopped what they was doing. Shit. Like, it's a damn wild animal just came in this motherfucker and just walking around. She is like walking, she is in the house going in circles. She is just ready to pounce. She is ready to just go for somebody's fucking throat. And then she goes back outside and then just staring at them, Adriana and Calfani. And Adriana was like, do I need to, like, she, like, Adriana was like, I'll leave, I don't want to start nothing. And Calfani was like, no, it's cool. You know, I'm talking to you. When I talk to her, Adriana was like, maybe you need to spend time with her. Shit. But he was like, I've been with her all day. Now I'm with you. It's fine. Shit wasn't fine to Denise, goddammit. She was like a goddamn Black Panther on the prowl. She was ready to just snatch a goddamn gazelle up. Shit, Adriana was... she shouldn't walk around alone. I tell you that much. Denise come out the goddamn bushes on her ass. After they get done talking, Calfani go to Denise's room when Denise is laying down. And Calfani is like, hey, what's going on with you? And he's like, is you done? You done playing? And he was like, hey, you know, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm talking to people. I'm getting to know folks. I'm doing this and that. And Denise is like, she don't like it. And he was like, well, this is what we supposed to do. And she said, well, what the fuck did she say? She said that if you see me, you should be able to tell that I want you, and I'm looking for you. And Calfani got upset. Calfani raised his voice. He got loud on Denise, like, I ain't no damn mind reader. If you want me, you got to say, hey, can I talk to you? Hey, can you come over here? Say something to me. Because if I'm with her, I'm talking to her. You want me to talk to you? Just say, hey, Calfani, can I see you for a minute? And he's like, hey, I can come talk to you. That's fine. But I'm not going to just know that. He's like, you got to be confident. You got to be secure. The feeling I have with you is my feelings for you. And he's right. Whenever somebody asks for him, he goes to them. But Denise feels like he should just know she wants to talk to him. And he was like, nah, it don't work like that. You got to say something. Like, shit, we grown, talk. He's not wrong. And she is absolutely wrong in that situation. Why are you just walking around looking crazy? Looking pissed off? If something bothering you, say, hey, can we talk for a minute because something bothering me? Then do that. She don't see it that way. She feel like he should just know that their connection is that strong, and it ain't that strong. Next we go, Denise is the next day, Denise is burning sage, y'all. She burning sage, trying to get the goddamn spirits away, because she hot. She pissed. I'm telling y'all, she pissed. So shit. She needs to calm down. She needs to get that evil out of her. She needs to get the damn demons off her back, because she had bad intentions the damn night before. So we go back in the house, and Rashid is sitting on the couch. I think he's drinking something. And Simone come up, and Simone was like, "Hey, I'm feeling you. I've been seeing you." And Rashid was like, "You know, I've been feeling you too." But he said, "I was always with Adriana." And Simone was like, "Yeah, I always saw you with her, but you know, she's with Calfani now." She was like, "So I want to ask you out on a date." And Rashid is excited. He was like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, let's go out on a date." And so she said, "Okay, well, just tell me where to go and what to wear, and I'll be there." And Rashid was like, "Okay." He was like, "I'll plan the date." So, which was slick, which was real. I really liked that Simone did that, because she didn't want to wait for him to ask her. So she said, I'm gonna ask him, but he gonna plan it. And so she just, which I don't see anything wrong with that. I think that's perfect, really. Especially for that situation. Especially for a lot of situations, that's perfect. Oh shit, my chair broke. Anyway, it was perfect for that situation. And something else happened. I can't think of what else happened. I'll remember it later. We go back outside to Joy and Edwin. Joy and Edwin have a date. Edwin has planned a yoga session with him and Joy. And it's going to be a tantric yoga. So it's going to be real close, touching, personal, stuff like that. Just a lot of sexual. Very sexual. And Joy was like, okay. She's like, I know what this is. If it gets too freaky, I'm getting up out of here. But it's nice. It's like they're real close. They're holding each other real tight, doing a lot of positions and stuff. It looked nice. It really looked nice. Edwin is more of a lover kind of guy. He's very sensual, very sexual. He's gentler than the other guys. You know, he doesn't do a lot of just random things. Everything he does is real romantic, real sexual. And I believe that's intentional. And it's just his nature. He's just very soft, sexual kind of guy. Joy enjoyed. She stayed for the whole thing, and I think at the end of it, she gave him a kiss on the cheek. You know, but it was really good. It was really nice. It was nice to watch. It made me curious about it. It really did. Brian, Winter, Adriana, and California, they go on a date. They go on a tiki boat ride. And when they're on the ride, you know, Brian is using his excuse to, like, he said he wants to know Winter, but he really just kind of touching on her. And Winter, like, you know, like, she doesn't know why Brian even asked her. She was like, he's all into Alex. Why is he now talking to me? And, yeah, it didn't make any fucking sense. And all he's doing is, like, everything he was saying was just bullshit. It was all just, like, surface stuff. It was just all, like, she's attractive. She's a very beautiful woman. And that's all he cared about. And he completely was dismissing Alex, like, what, you know. Because Winter was asking him, like, well, I see you with Alex all the time, and that looks pretty deep. Why are you even talking to me? Because I've not been interested in you? Yeah. So she asks Calfani, what does he like about Adriana? And he goes on, you know, he's like, personality, she's very bubbly, she's very talkative, we have a good connection, like, we laugh a lot, it's very soulful, it's very, you know, passionate, and he enjoys her energy and all that stuff. And then she asked Brian, what do you like about me? Brian had shit to say. He was like, you know, I like that, I like your curves, I like how thick your thighs, those thick thighs say lies, I like how you do that thing, I like how you look. It was all appearance. He didn't know anything about her. He hasn't listened to a word she said. Nothing. It's just how she looks. That's it. Brian is full of shit. And Winter sees it. Winter is like you full of it, dude. Like she like even Calfani and Adriana were rolling their eyes. Like, what the fuck is this dude talking about? It was just shallow. It was all surface. It was nothing. We go back to the house, like, that was dumb. It was a waste of time. Go back to Jay and Joy, and they're talking, and Joy tells him that Alicia said that he looks like Mayweather Diggs, like a combination of Floyd Mayweather and Tay Diggs. And Jay thought that was funny because he does look kind of like, he looks like Tay Diggs to me. He does. I don't see where the Mayweather come in. I guess because he's short. And she said she had missed him. And he was like, yeah, I miss you. I guess they usually spend the nights talking to each other. Like, she said they laugh. They just talk until they laugh or sleep. They're always together. Because they always together. And she was like, I guess that night was the night that he was with Winter. And he wasn't with Joy. And she was like, I missed him. And he was like, yeah, I miss my friend. And she was like, friend? She said, that all I am is a friend? He was like, no, all you want to be friends? And she said, no, I want to be friends more. And Jay was like, oh, friend with a little razzle dazzle. And I like that. I like friend with a little razzle dazzle. That's a good one. Now I've never heard that before, but I like that one. And you go back in the house to Nia and Edwin, and Edwin was talking about how he gets stressed sometimes. Why he does a lot of. He keeps it easy, and Nia was like, "Well, I can relax you. I can rub on your head, your shoulder. I can do anything." She said, "I see you a man that provides and takes care of and does all these things." And Edwin was just like, mm-hmm. Now, I don't know why Nia, because Edwin is a personal chef, so he gets gigs. If he ain't gigged, he ain't got no money. So I don't know what the fuck she talking about. He ain't rolling no dough. So she's full of it on that. And Edwin tells her, she has very pretty eyes. She has sexy eyes. She has, like, pretty kitty eyes. And then Nia was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense because it matches. Pretty kitty eyes, pretty kitty. And I know when I heard that, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I wanted to laugh. I just chuckled. Because it is clever. Pretty kitty eyes, pretty kitty. That's clever. And I think Edward just chuckled. He chuckled to himself because it's clever. It's funny. I don't know if it was the right thing to say. I don't know. But hey, it was something. Rashid and Simone, they have their date. They have a nice date. This is real good. Because Rashid is a car guy, so he has a truck, like an old school truck, with the truck bed down. They have a picnic on the back of the truck. And Simone was like, wow. It was really nice. I really liked it. And Simone started asking him, like job interview questions and stuff. Like, what is the hardest thing you ever had to overcome? And he said, when he was in school, he was a slow reader. He didn't read as fast as they wanted him to, so they put him in special ed. And he said, special ed was kind of just bad because people make fun of you. They talk about you. His mama wasn't gonna have it. Like, there's nothing wrong with my son. We're gonna work on him. So he worked hard. He got past that. He got it through. He got out of it. He went on. He has that chip on his shoulder about when he got put in special ed. So it pushes him to do more, to strive harder. He's the first guy in his family to graduate college. He has this great job. He does all these things because of what happened to him. And, he's had to overcome that stigma that's associated with special ed. And Simone asked him, like, how do you feel in relationships? What's your preferred way to do it? And even asking on dates. And Rashid said, he's a traditionalist. He believes the man should ask the woman out on a date. And she said, what about me? He said, yeah. He said, yeah, you asked me, but you step back and let me plan the date. And I like that. I like that you asked, but you let me do the date. Which she did. And that was really cool. That was really something. It's something you don't see a lot, but it happened. She asked him, he agreed to it, and she said, okay, go ahead, let me know where it's gonna be at. That's cool. You go in the house and everybody's sitting around the table, and then they start freestyling. They just sitting around rapping, laughing, joking, playing. And Calfani goes into this big, long, hard, intense freestyle, and Adriana is just moist. She is just losing it, she is just hot and bothered by Calfani rapping. Like, she just can't believe it. Like, ooh, she like that thug in him, that gangster side to him, or whatever it is. And it wasn't really all that good. I didn't think it was fly. I was like, it was cringe to me. But she enjoyed it. She had to go change her underwear or whatever. Later on, after that, you see them on the couch. She's telling him, like, oh, you did so good. I ain't never seen that side of you. I didn't know you had that in you, that little gangster part or whatever. And he was like, yeah, you bring it out of me. I could be anything you want me to be, whatever, all kind of shit. And they start kissing. They just start making out on the couch. I think that's the first time they didn't kiss or whatever. They enjoyed it. Oh, Simone and Rashid were kissing. I missed that. They made out in the back of the truck. Like, she really enjoyed it. He was like, he made the first move. So you've asked me out first. I'm going to kiss you first. So he went in and they was kissing. They were kissing a lot. You see Anthony and Winter outside. They go on a date. And Winter I don't understand her attraction. I understand her attraction to Anthony, but it seems more shallow than her attraction to Jay or even Edwin, because all she talks about with Anthony is his body. She's like, I like his chest, his arms, his legs. You know, she likes seeing him, his body, but she doesn't really talk about like his mind or his feelings or his thoughts like she does with Edwin and Jay. So I don't really get that. And she tells him like, you know, she's been married before and how it went, because she said that her husband cheated on her 3 weeks after that, which is still the honeymoon. 3 weeks into their marriage, and she didn't know what to do. She just was like, you know, she wasn't happy in her marriage. And Anthony was like, you know, he was listening to all she's been through, and they had a deep talk. And Anthony really likes her. You know, he likes her not just physically, because physically she's beautiful, but he also likes her just how she is, how she talks, and how she thinks, and everything about her. But I don't think her feelings for him are the same. I could be wrong though, but I don't think it's the same. After that, you see Alex and Rashid. They're playing basketball on like a little hoop outside. Everybody's going out with Rashid now, which is everybody's kind of well. He said, you know, with since Adriana was with Calfani, he could be somebody else. So I guess that's what he's doing. But he's with he's with Alex. Rashid's with Alex playing basketball, and she asked him, you know, what was like the hardest, like what was something that really affected you deeply? And Rashid says, you know, his dad died. He said when his dad died when he was like 57 or something, and he said it was tough because his dad really pushed him to go to college, to achieve, be great, to do all these things. And he said his dad didn't live to see him graduate. And that really hurt him, and that was something that he really had to push through, and it really affected who he was. And man, his dad, everything his dad taught him and showed him and supported him affected who he became today. And he asked her, you know, hey, what about you? And she said that, you know, her mom was in a real bad car accident, which left her needing 24-hour care. So her mom was like, she couldn't take care of herself, so she needed somebody to take care of her 24 hours a day. And her dad stepped up and said, I'm going to do that because that's my wife and that's my job as her husband, to take care of her and provide for her. So that's what she's looking for in a man, someone that's like, I will protect and provide and be there for you through anything. And Rashid was like, yeah, he picked up on that. Like, that's what you want. You want someone that's going to be there with you, for you, no matter what. And it was and Brian didn't know any of this. Brian hadn't heard a single thing Alex had to say, because he's full of shit and don't care about nothing but himself. And Alex noticed that Rashid was a much better conversationalist than Brian is, because Brian, he doesn't listen to her, and Rashid heard everything she said. He only talked about her. He only acknowledged her feelings, and he was like, you know, he was participating in the conversation. He wasn't just waiting on her to stop talking to just say whatever he wanted to say. So that means Alex really liked that about Rashid, and I think her and Simone were like, I think all the women, they really kind of put Rashid in like a category, and he's just this corny guy, you know, there's nothing really there. And then he was with Adriana anyway, but now they're starting to see that Rashid, which is what I said in the beginning, I'm like, Rashid's corny, but he's a good guy. He's not some terrible person. He's a really good dude. He's a little goofy, a little corny, but he's got a good heart. You can tell he does. And he's caring, and I think now they're starting to see that because he's away from Adriana and he's with them, and they're like, oh, this is really a good person right here. And I think that's going to be good for him, because that's 3 people at least, right? And Denise would never like him. But Adriana, Simone, and Alex are on Rashid's side. So we go to Tommy's Tavern, and Tommy is asking, like, hey, he's talking to Brian about, you know, what's going on with him and Alex. You know, they're getting stronger and weaker, and Brian just talking. He doesn't answer the fucking question at all. And Tommy was like, you just not gonna answer that question, is it? So he asked him again, is y'all stronger or weaker, him and Alex? And he's like, oh, we're Streaker. And everybody in the was like, that's some bullshit. You just don't want to. He just doesn't want to say anything. He doesn't want to talk. He doesn't want to do anything. On some bullshit. And they say, well, does anybody else have a connection to Alex? And Rasheed was like, yeah, I have a connection to Alex. You know, we talked about her mom and her dad, what's going on with them, how she needs care. And Tommy was like, well, Brian, did you know that? Brian was like, no, Brian doesn't know shit about it. He been, all these weeks he's been with Alex, he doesn't know a fucking thing about her. Nothing. And it's just, it's shameful. It really is. And Tommy says, man, have you been listening to her, or are you just hearing her, or are you listening? Because there's a difference. And Brian doesn't have anything to say because he's not doing a fucking thing at all. He's just... So, then he said, what about Joy? And Edwin says, Joy is the light of his life. And Jay is like, what the fuck? It's funny seeing, but, you know, they cool, but, you know, Edwin kind of said something before Jay could say something to let them know, hey, me and Joy was doing something. He told them about the yoga and how he's really connected to her and all that. And then they asked about Adriana. And Calfani was like, yeah, you know, him and Adriana have been together pretty much the whole week. And they made a strong connection. They get to know each other real better. It was about Winter. And then Jay and Anthony were like, they feeling the Winter. They really like Winter, you know, all that. They asked about anybody got connected with Simone. And Rasheed was like, yep, I got connected with Simone. Simone is really nice. They hit it off big time, Simone and Rasheed. And he says he wants another week with her to spend more time with her, get to know her a little better because he really enjoyed the time they spent together. And then they asked about Naya. And Rasheed said he ain't feeling Naya. He said, you know, the way she did Chris is just weird and it's odd and it sticks out. And it does. And he says that because Chris was all into Naya. And from what it seemed like, she was into him. And for one conversation that did, it wasn't a one talk that wasn't crazy, that wasn't out of the ordinary, for that to be enough, one thing, for you to completely write him off and be done with him, that means you didn't like him in the first place. Rasheed is absolutely correct on that. For her to get rid of him over that, over something that's something you talk about, it's not like finances is not a go, no go, unless he just don't want to work. But if he's like, listen, I can't afford this on my own, we got to work together to pay for this, that's a talk. That's not something you just get rid of somebody for. Unless you don't like them at all. So it was clearly that she didn't like him at all and just wasted Chris's time. And that didn't sit right with Rasheed. Nobody, even Tommy didn't like that. And Edwin was like, yeah, Naya. He's like, and Edwin said the same thing. Was like, she can get rid of me just that quick too. And so he asked about Denise. And Anthony is like, you know, he loves Denise. He's like, yeah, Denise is cool. You know, they have, because Anthony and Denise's vibe is more playful and more joyful. Like, she has fun with Anthony. And then Calfani was like, you know, Denise is tripping. He like Denise. He said he likes her, but she's being very territorial, very possessive, won't let him do things. And he doesn't like that. But he doesn't really have a problem with her. It's just that, you know, Calfani, it seems like with Denise, Anthony is her friend, and Calfani is like a fucking therapist. She only talks to Calfani when it's about something deep and meaningful in her feelings or whatever. But with Anthony, it's just like they just goofing off, having fun, having a good time. So that can't sit right. So your bottom two is Denise and Naya. They have Popo J talk to Denise, and they have Rasheed talk to Naya. And Jay is about to piss himself talking to Denise. He is so nervous, y'all. He is losing it. He cannot be comfortable. He cannot. He can't even get the words out. Denise literally starts talking to herself because Jay can't get it out. Shit. And Rasheed is talking to Naya, and Rasheed is like, you know, hey, we didn't like how you did Chris. You know, it was like, it was so drastic. And just a turn, it was just shocking. And nobody can really trust that. If you did that to him, you absolutely could do it to any one of us. And so Jay tells Denise, Denise tells Denise, because Jay can't get the goddamn words out, that she needs to be less aggressive, less possessive, and she needs to be more trusting and more, into herself. She knows what to say, because this is her second time being there. For the same goddamn reason. And Jay said, but me and the guy decided, you still looking for love, And then Rashid tells Naya, like, we the guy feel like you are not ready. And he says ready, and Naya gets up and says, nope. Nope. You can say it to the couch. And she walks out. She puts her drink down. She was like, nope. And Rashid was like, all right. So he says to the couch, couch, we think you are not ready to love. Hey, sorry about that. And Naya is pissed. Naya is storming out. She's leaving. The producers are like, hey, don't leave like this. Come back. And Naya like, oh, now I gotta go. Y'all not gonna embarrass me. This is embarrassing as fuck. What you doing right now is embarrassing. It's unsophisticated and it's unladylike. There's no way they could have embarrassed you more than you embarrassing your goddamn self. So what? And she said she gotta go. She said she can't be here. She gotta go. She got her boyfriend waiting on her in Atlanta. And the producer was like, yo, but what? Oh, my boyfriend is waiting on me in Atlanta. No, I ain't got no fucking boyfriend. Now you probably got some 22-year-old that's blowing her back out that she don't want shit to do with, but he good for a good, screwing. That's probably all she got. If she's my own, she got all these options. She got all these. She was here. She the prize. I was just here to entertain them, for them to compete for me. She the best. She said she the baddest one there. She the prize. Everybody wanted her. I love her confidence. But between you and me, Naya was not the baddest one there. She wasn't even in the top 5. Beautiful woman. Very attractive. Very sexy. But so was every woman there. And if you had to rank them, she wasn't the baddest. So, love the fact she feels that way, but it is not a true statement. And she says, she's like, I never even liked Edwin. What? Bullshit, you didn't like. You felt something. Talking about your goddamn kitty. You was tonguing his ass down. Asking him about his damn shoe size. You was feeling something. You either was feeling something or you crazy. She gotta go. She's like, oh, I ain't got time for this. She's like, this whole thing was all about her. Nothing else mattered. Everything else was bullshit. It was about her. They were competing for her, but she has a lot of guys outside of this that wanted to be with her. She was just entertaining these guys in here, but she didn't like any of them. She said, I didn't like any of them. Oh, I have much better prospects on the outside that I've been dealing with. I just wanted to see what was going on in here. And it ain't nothing in here. What? Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. What is she talking about? She was into Chris. She was into Edwin. Or else she's bipolar and just flipping back and forth. I don't know. That shit made sense to no one but Naya. But hey, they didn't embarrass her. She can always say that. She can always say that. This show did not embarrass her. They sit back and let her embarrass herself. That's my thoughts. That's my feelings. I don't know what the fuck Naya was talking about. She was trying to save face, keep some dignity, saying, oh, this didn't matter, all of that. And it failed spectacularly. It didn't work. Oh, well. She the talk of the town. She the star of the show now. She, well, I guess you will. You started that episode. We'll see where they go from here. I don't know where they're going to go from here. I'm kind of happy she's gone. Especially not knowing how she felt and what she thought. I'm happy she's gone. Tommy said that next week is going to be one man and one woman eliminated. It's absolutely going to be Brian. I don't know who the woman's going to be. It could be Alex or probably Denise. Who's safe? Calfani's safe. Rashid is safe. Is Edwin safe? Is Anthony safe? Out of the guys, it's absolutely Brian. Out of the women, Joy is safe. Adriana safe. I can see Winter leaving. I can see Alex leaving. I can see Denise leaving. I can see Simone leaving. The only two women that are safe, from what I can see, is Joy and Adriana. I think Winter's safe. I think Jay and Edwin will make sure Winter stays. I don't know about Calfani, if he will keep Denise. Anthony might not keep Denise, because Anthony is also trying to see what he can do with Winter. He might keep Denise because, well, Denise isn't bothering Anthony. She's only irritating Calfani. Shit. Simone, she's got Rashid, but is Rashid gonna be enough? Alex got nobody but Brian. She's got Rashid, but I don't know if her and Rashid are that close. I think Rashid likes Simone more than Alex or Adrian. Yes, that's what he said. Rashid said Simone had not overtaken Adriana, but was right there. And I really feel like he likes Simone more than Adriana. I don't think Alex is safe. I don't know. It's absolutely Brian. But I don't know the woman. Talk to me later. Tell me your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll get back with y'all later. Peace.